DR1 Racing presents the DHL Champion Series fueled by Mountain Dew. Premier drone racing that combines elite pilots, epic locations, and adrenaline-filled races.
When you put your goggles on, the whole world becomes a video game. You get disconnected from the real world, and the only thing that's with you is your drone and your brain.
It's like I'm flying, I'm a superhero, I can do whatever I want in the sky. I feel free.
Rebel, clear!
It's very zen-like, kind of meditative, because you don't have time to think about anything but exactly what you're doing in that moment.
This course is crazy fun.
I've never flown anything like it.
The adrenaline you get by racing through a tight course that speeds up to 100 miles an hour is really thrilling.
When you fly and you see other drones in the air, it's like Star Wars.
My favorite part about this is the competition. That drives me to push harder and push harder and push harder.
Oh my God!
Until now, drone racing has featured pilots racing against one another for individual glory. But the DR1 Champion Series is unique. It's all about teamwork.
Individual racing is it's fun, but being with a team, it adds a whole nother level of stress because it's even more of a mind game. You're not only going to let yourself down, but you're letting down your friends.
Now we have a team racing format in DR1, which it did increase, I guess, the physicality of drone racing with pit stops and running to the drones, but it's more mentally grueling, sitting there, staying calm under pressure.
So the purpose of the pit stop is simply a battery change. Our drones don't fly long enough to do the whole race on one battery. This is where you're gonna make or break a race.
Up until this competition, I don't think any of us really did pit stops.
Such a slow pit.
This was a totally new thing for a lot of the people.
The gates being used at DR1 are very different to what we're used to. We usually race through square gates. These are triangles, which means the area you have to fly through in the middle is much smaller than we used to.
You're looking at a triangle from half a mile away that looks very, very small. So you're going very fast, so you have to line it up just perfect because one small mistake to the left, to the right, your quad is in a million pieces.
One down, they have one down.
There's two factions. These finesse pilots, they don't really know much about the configurations, but they're fantastic pilots. They have fantastic flying ability. And then you have the nerds, and they understand the science and the physics.
None of us have had to be gone for 5-6 weeks straight and bring enough parts and batteries and even the mental stamina of racing, moving, setting up, waking up before the sun is even close to being raised. None of us could have expected that.
Each race will see two teams go head-to-head, with two pilots flying their drones. The third team member will act as a spotter and manage the required pit stops for their teammates. On each course, each pilot must complete a total of 4 laps without missing any gates. The pit stop can take place on any lap. The winning pilot will earn 10 points for his team. Second place scores 8 points. It's 6 points for third and 3 points for fourth. But if you fail to finish, you score nothing.
This championship is all about points, so you will get no points if you crash, but you get points if you finish.
It doesn't matter if you're first or it doesn't matter if you're fourth. Not finishing is just so bad.
It's all about finishing, not crashing.
The top 2 teams will then compete in the finals, which will have them face off in a best-of-3 race format. Each pilot will fly twice and have one racer looking after the pit stops. Points are awarded the same as the heats. So who are the 5 top teams taking part in the DR1 Champion Series? KDRA, Lumenier, Nexxblades, Rebel, and Thunderpower. So let's meet the teams competing for the Dell Technologies $50,000 grand prize. First up, KDRA, Sean Taylor, Minchon Kim, and Brian Morris. Team Lumenier brings together the combined skills of Kane Madare, Colby Curtola, and Corey Ibanez. Gary Kent, Mac Poshwald, and Johnny Scher are Nexxblades. Team Rebel is comprised of Vince Irie, Cooper Groves, and Michael Tseng. And finally, Thunderpower, that's Ricky Martinez, Bapu Madhu, and Chris Garza. The 5th stop on the DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew, was the former home of the pirate queen Grace O'Malley. The Vikings fought and died on her beaches, and the British Army built a tower within her walls. But in DR1, Bunowen Castle in Ireland tested the limits of the top 5 drone racing teams in the world. Before Race 5 commences, let's recap how the pilots fared at Spike Island for Race 4.
Spike Island, it was a nightmare for weather.
We knew that there was some weather coming in. We didn't think it was going to come in as quick as it did.
We cut our practice in half.
Everyone was panicking.
You need to move in now.
We have 20 minutes to pack all of our bags because if we don't get on the last ferry, we're staying on Spike Island for the night.
Having evacuated the island, the heavy rains cleared the following day and the teams returned. They were short on practice and the winds were still gusting.
I would say every team had a tough day.
Frick. It just desynced. At the stupid gate.
I think the weather played a big role in our result in Spike Island because we were getting blown into the gate.
Nexxblades were especially struggling with the elements.
The wind is just pushing us into it.
We had multiple collisions in our races.
Colby from Lumenier and Thunder Power's Garza had a dramatic mid-air collision in Heat 5.
So he actually pushed me, gave me a little power boost, and then I went through the finish line and finished, and unfortunately he crashed out.
Drone racing, baby.
Yeah, the finals, we raced against KDRA. They're definitely one of the heavy hitters.
It was Lumenier who reached the final, where they faced KDRA. In the first race, it was all about Lumenier. In the second race, the elements played a part again.
Oh man, that sun.
This time it was the bright sun that was a hindrance.
I was matched up against Sean Taylor, and we just had a good head-to-head battle, and it was a clean race. On the final lap again, we were coming over the building, and it had another midair, and I got lucky again and survived that one as well.
What? I don't know what I hit.
For race 3, the Lumenier pilot simply had to race safely to guarantee victory.
And the way the points worked out, all we needed to do was get 3rd and 4th place. So we just made sure we finished and ended up winning that one.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
After Spike Island, the team standings look like this. 5 points were awarded to Lumenier, who moved up to 3rd place overall. KDRA earned 4 points for finishing 2nd. They are now joint seasonal leaders with Nexxblades, who scored 3 points. Rebel scored 2 points, and Thunder Power scored 1 point.
So this track right here is one of my personal favorites just because we are introducing freestyle elements to natural features behind me, such as that castle over there.
Wide open spaces, elevation changes, and solid stone walls will test the teams once more. In the Mountain Dew fly-through, Cooper, Mac, and Corey talk us through the course.
The course today is a little bit wider than the previous courses, which means there's a lot of speed.
And there's so much elevation change and a couple of 3D elements through the castle.
Gate number 1 is a little bit uphill leading into it, so you have to keep that in mind when you're thinking about your altitude and stuff.
And then from gate 1 to number 2, there's a small wall down there. And then you do a sharp right and just align yourself along that wall and go through gate number 2.
After the gate, there's a long straightaway, so it's important you keep your speed moving through gate 2 to make it onto the next one.
And then you're supposed to go through one of the windows in the castle.
So when you go through that first window, you corkscrew around and come through the archway, corkscrew again.
Corkscrews are always fun, doing inverted movements. You have to stay pretty tight. It's a wide corkscrew leading into a shorter corkscrew. If your line is off at all, you're gonna hit the castle and you're probably gonna go down really hard.
I love any kind of 3D flying. It's always a trip to be flying upside down. So gate 3 is probably one of the funnest gates to line up for because you're just coming out of that second corkscrew.
Gate 4 is going downhill, which means you carry a lot of speed, so you have to be careful you're not going too quickly when you're going at it. And it's another hard right turn coming out of that. Gate 5 can be a bit difficult to find.
So gate number 5 has a bit of a crossover with the last 2 gates. So you've got to take it up high and kind of try to come down and punch through gate number 5.
Coming into gate 6, the gate is essentially a line gate, which means that you can't really see the opening.
Start turning right to align yourself properly for the next 2 gates, number 6 and number 7. It's like a tunnel.
If you take a nice straight line, then gate 7 is really easy. You just hold the throttle and punch right through it. From gate 7 to the finish line, it's basically just a full throttle bank turn all the way through.
Coming up after the break, The action commences. But there's unexpected drama on the beach at Bun Owen. Welcome back to Bunowen Castle for DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew.
I was chasing you, past you, chase you, past you.
Practice day at Bunowen Castle, and the teams were getting to grips with the course when things took a dramatically unexpected turn.
I go out and I'm just kind of walking around looking at everything. It was just slippery, and I slipped. I planted my leg in the ground. I heard a loud pop, and I looked down and I could see that my kneecap was rolling up into my thigh. It was excruciating.
Yeah, he's actually snapped his ACL. His whole kneecap is loose. Luckily, he caught it in time with his hand, so he's holding it in place to stop it wrapping up and stop the circulation. For about an hour and a half, he held it there till the helicopter came. It's just a pretty tough guy with no meds at all. The paramedics from the Irish Army took over. He's hoping to be back tomorrow shooting, but I don't know about that.
I remember telling the guys, I'll be back. But unfortunately, the injury, the doctor said, was about as the worst that they had ever seen. They said it looked like a bomb had literally gone off inside of my knee.
Sean's knee injury was too severe for him to return to the competition. He would have to be replaced. Team KDRA had suffered a massive setback.
A pilot has been flown in from the UK last minute. His name is Harry Plested, and it'll be interesting to see how the new team dynamics comes into play for Team KDRA. You are jumping into the middle of this with a team that I don't believe you've met before. So what's the strategy to kind of keep that, momentum going?
Well, Brian and I spent most of yesterday evening, I think we were talking till about 1 a.m, trying to sort out just basic strategy. So pit stops, flying, not crashing into each other. The list goes on. So hopefully we can get there and sort of get straight into the fly. And we're about to have a practice in about an hour and a half, I think, hour. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
So it's time for the teams to take on the challenges of Bun Owen Castle. Up first, Rebel versus Thunder Power. Cooper and Vince.
Ready to rip this.
Against Ricky and Garza.
Yeah! Garza second, Ricky fourth by a hair.
Cooper led from the start. The real battle was for third and fourth place. Vince for Rebel taking on Ricky for Thunder Power.
Ricky closed.
They continually traded places with one another. Ricky moved into third at the end of lap 1. But then he misjudged the approach to gate 1, allowing Vince to overtake.
Vince, you're good. He blew the turn. You're still third.
Ricky, you're very close to take him.
Lap 2, gate 6. Ricky was back on Vince's tail. They repeatedly swapped places until they both had to pit on lap 3.
You guys are perfect.
I'm pitting.
That's when things went wrong for Thunder Power.
Ricky, go!
Take off.
Ricky took off ahead of Vince.
Oh! Dude, it just flipped over. Hurry up, spin me down.
This error allowed the Rebel pilot to regain third spot for the final lap.
I see someone in front of me. Who was that?
That's Garz.
Thunder Power's Garza had been holding on to second place for the whole race. But then, on his last lap, he collided with gate 3.
Vince, you can slow up.
Cooper had already passed the finish to secure 10 points for Rebel. As Ricky started his final lap, the delay from technical issues was obvious because Vince was crossing the line to claim another 8 points for his team.
Yes!
Good job, guys. Keep it. Good job.
We got this. Oh man, that was so much fun.
You got lucky, bro.
I was chasing you, past you, chase you, past you.
I took off, my quad just went bloop and unbound.
Bro.
So I just said, forget it, I'll just finish.
We'll race again.
Yeah, dude, that was good.
That was fun, man.
Ricky, I noticed that when you came for your pit stop, what happened during takeoff? Did you just fall over? What was going on?
I took off, hovered for about a second, it did a little flip, so we had to power cycle it to get it rebound.
So after Heat 1, Rebel have a maximum 18 points. Thunder Power scored 6 points. Next up, Kane and Colby for Lumenier took on Minchan and Harry on his first outing for KDRA. And it wasn't the start he'd hoped for.
Rerun.
Come on, man.
Well, the problem was I didn't understand how the start beats were going, so I got off late but got a quick start. I found someone, I was like, I'm not going to rear end them before the first gate, so I'm going to fly into the top of the first gate.
His crash before the start line meant a race reset. From the start, Minchan was incredible. He moved from 4th to 1st before heading through the start gate. While he was taking on Gate 3, the other pilots were still negotiating the castle ruins. The Lumenier pilots were exchanging places for 2nd and 3rd. Newcomer Harry was having problems at the back of the pack. On lap 3, Gate 2, his battery failed him and he crashed out of the race.
Oh, he's down, he's down.
Okay, it's just you, Minchan.
Minchan's first attempt at the Bunowen course was practically perfect, securing 10 points with a total race time of 2 minutes, 37 seconds.
Nice one.
Good job.
Kane came 2nd and Colby 3rd.
All according to plan. Yeah.
The leaderboard sees Rebel leading the field with maximum points, while Lumenier is in 2nd with 14. Minchan's 10 points placed KDRA in 3rd, and Thunderpower is 4th. Heat 3, Nexxblades took on Rebel. That's Mac and Gary versus Cooper and Michael.
Great start, guys.
Mac and Gary were overtaken before Gate 1 by both the Rebel pilots. At Gate 2, Gary overtook Mac, almost mid-airing him. It was a tussle in the castle ruins with Mike, Gary, and Mac all fighting for 2nd place. Mac was in 2nd when Gary tried another overtake maneuver.
I'm taken down.
Mac is down.
Much to the pleasure of Vince. On lap 3, Cooper was still in the lead when he pitted. This allowed Gary to take 1st position.
Rebel clear! Go!
Vince completed an efficient pit stop, and Cooper set off in pursuit of the one remaining Nexxblades quad. But Gary was too good and secured victory for his team.
Hold on, yeah.
Cooper and Michael finished 2nd and 3rd for Rebel.
Give me that. All right.
Our winners for this heat, Team Rebel bringing in a 2nd and 3rd place for a total of 14 points.
I was only a couple seconds off Gary. Maybe I could have picked it up, but we're totally happy with the points we got.
So after 3 heats, the leaderboard looks like this. Rebel is in a commanding lead with 32 points. Lumenier are 2nd with 14. Nexxblades scored 10 points in their first race of the day. Up next, KDRA took on Thunderpower. Brian and Harry flew for KDRA, and it was Bapu and Ricky for Thunderpower. As part of a strategy to finish with points on the board, Ricky and Bapu flew safely in 3rd and 4th place. But Thunderpower's tactics did not work. Ricky crashed, exiting Gate 3 on the 1st lap.
Disarm, man.
This left Bapu in 2nd, who had overtaken Brian.
Be careful, Harry.
The stakes were raised even higher when Harry, in the lead, collided with Gate 7.
They got one down, Bapu.
Bapu and Brian were now head-to-head for a 1st place finish.
So we got a good 30 seconds. Minchan's pitting, we got time.
Brian came into pit on lap 2. Bapu was looking strong 30 seconds ahead of him when this happened.
Oh, no.
Luckily, his quad was able to rejoin the race. Into the final lap, and Brian's quad was catching Bapu's drone. The Thunderpower pilot had not completed his pit stop. It was part of his strategy. The crowd were eager to know whether it would work.
Pit, hurry.
Bapu came in just before the finish line. Brian was screaming down the final stretch. Garza had seconds to complete the battery swap. But Brian was a fraction faster, and he secured a victory for his team.
Nice one.
Wow.
It literally came down to the fastest battery swap ever. Bapu, Chris, tell me what was going through your mind. Did you guys know that Brian was on his way for his last lap?
No, because I've been practicing with 2250s, just big enough to complete 4 laps. So I thought, why not just try a quick maneuver? I mean, we didn't even strap our last battery, but it worked. So maybe we'll be using that strategy more.
So 10 points for KDRA, who are now on 20, closing the gap on leaders Rebel. 8 points for Thunderpower, now joint 3rd with Lumenier. 7 points for Nexxblades, who are now on 19, closing the gap on leaders Rebel. 8 points for Thunderpower, now joint 3rd with Lumenier. 8 points for Nexxblades, who are now on 20, closing the gap on leaders Rebel. Coming up, the premier drone action continues in DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew.
And most of the teams are crashing.
Coming up on Bapu right here.
The sport is not about being fast, it's about staying in the air.
Welcome back to Bunowen Castle for DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew.
Why is he landing here? What is this? Throw my stuff again, man, and I'm not even joking.
I understand.
5 races into the series, and the teams are finding their rhythm on these outdoor courses.
The elements have a lot to do with the racing factor and how well you do. How well you cope with the environment is a huge thing. So that's very different compared to the other leagues where it's mainly indoors.
Inside, you have structures and you have a ceiling.
If you miss a gate, you can pop up and not worry about hitting a ceiling. The lighting's generally better outdoors. I kind of like the aspect of flying in the elements because it adds just another aspect that the team has to worry about.
The biggest difference when flying inside to outside is when you're outside, you have to battle the natural elements.
Flying outside really gives you that extra skill of flying through hard wind.
We get to visit exotic locations, awesome sceneries. Each track has its own character and different challenges. After doing this, I would say outdoor racing is my preferred type of track.
Heat 5, and it was Lumenier versus Nexxblades. Gary and Johnny against Kane and Corey. Johnny's quad failed to launch.
DSC, motor.
Corey for Lumenier was in the lead, with Gary for Nexxblades putting the pressure on in second place.
Gary's coming up on you.
Gary chose to pull out of the chase and pit at the end of lap 1. Would this tactic pay off? Corey crashed ahead of gate 3 on the second lap.
Sorry.
Gary claimed first place with Kane in second.
I saw someone out in front of me on the first lap. I was getting a 1-3 stint, so I just waited for the first lap and then put in some faster laps on the last 3 without anyone in front of me. And it worked.
A much-needed 10 points for Nexxblades lifts them off the bottom of the leaderboard. They're now tied for third with KDRA, while Lumenier is in second and Rebel is still out in front. Heat 6, KDRA versus Rebel.
And most of the teams are crashing. One of the pilots crashed almost every heat, so we're doing good. I think we're gonna get first place on this one. We've been in the finals twice. We've placed second twice, so third time is a lucky charm, right?
Minshan and Brian for KDRA flying against Michael and Vince for Rebel. As usual, Minshan was first through the starting gate, hit the hole shot, and pushed ahead, dominating the entire heat. Rebel's Michael was in second place, with teammate Vince in a battle for third place with Brian. The 2 pilots were blade to blade for most of the race. They narrowly missed a mid-air collision at the finish gate on lap 2. However, it was Minshan who stole the show, flying a 31-second lap record on the 3rd circuit, only to better that on the final lap by 1 second. Michael secured second place for Rebel, and Brian added 6 more points to KDRA for his 3rd place finish.
How we do? First and third?
It's all about not crashing. This sport is not about being fast, it's about staying in the air.
The leaderboard sees the gap narrowing between the top 2 teams. Rebel lead with 43 points, while KDRA is behind them with 36. Lumenier, Nexxblades, and Thunderpower are 3rd, 4th, and 5th, respectively. Heat 7 saw Thunderpower take on Lumenier, Bapu and Garza versus Kane and Colby. The latter needed to finish 1st and 3rd to have a chance of reaching the final. With Thunderpower's poor performance to date, Lumenier was confident.
We got this.
Colby was first through the start line, but then disaster. Garza dropped down onto Colby's quad.
1 down, they have 1 down.
Crashing him out of the race.
He rear-ended you, didn't he?
Destroying Lumenier's hopes of reaching the final.
Somebody coming up on Bapu right here.
Kane stormed ahead to gain some ground, having had to avoid the earlier mid-air collision. But he too went down.
2 down, they're both down, just finish.
All right, cruise. That's it. It's okay. No.
That's it.
Both of the Thunderpower pilots then flew more conservatively, and comfortably finished, taking maximum points for the team.
I cannot believe that just happened. It's our day.
Woo! Yeah! That's what's up.
That's just got to be a huge heartbreaker. I mean, I think you had the whole shot, and it was actually Chris Garza that you had contact with. Unfortunately, you went down, Garza kept going. Man, what's going through your mind?
Well, at Spike Island, we hit each other. I stayed up, so I guess we're even.
Thunder Power had now jumped up to third on the leaderboard with 32 points in total. Above them were KDRA on 36 and Rebel with 43. It was a disastrous race for Lumenier. Heat 8, and it was Minchan and Harry of KDRA against Gary and Mac for Nexxblades.
Minchan's out front. Yep, Minchan's in front.
Minchan was once again unstoppable. He took to the front from the start and remained the leader throughout. In his final lap, he even managed to lap teammate Harry. Gary for Nexxblades finished second. However, he accidentally landed his quad in KDRA's pit.
Why is he landing here? What is this? Really? Can we not land on the other side of the starting line, please?
And once Mac and Harry completed
Sorry,
the
I
race
chucked
in
it
third
over
and
there.
fourth,
I was
things
not
got a
happy
little
with it.
hostile.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, don't throw my quad,
Sorry,
man.
I'm sorry. Don't land in
I
my...
made a
don't land in
mistake.
my- I
but
know,
don't
I
throw
know.
my quad.
I know. I
I'm
know.
serious, man.
I understand.
I don't
I
around
understand.
with other people's
No,
stuff.
no,
So
I
you
know.
throw my
I
stuff
know.
again,
I
man, and I'm
understand.
not even joking.
I understand.
I'm not joking.
I understand. I understand. I'm sorry. You landed in my area, and my pilots are flying. I understand.
But you don't
It's,
throw people's stuff,
you're
man.
right.
You don't throw their gear.
You're right. You're right.
You know how long
You're right.
people spend putting these
You're
together,
right.
right?
I'm sorry.
You spend the same time as I do every
I
night
didn't
building
chuck
this.
It. I didn't chuck
okay?
it.
So
I didn't
just
chuck
don't do it.
No, I understand. I'm sorry. I apologize.
KDRA now top the leaderboard with 49 points. Rebel is second with 43, and next take on Lumenier. Although they can't make the finals in Bun Owen, Lumenier can still secure third place and improve their points on the seasonal standings. Corey for Lumenier dominated the race. But for teammate Colby, things were not so good.
Oh!
He failed to complete the Bun Owen course.
Does that feel safe? That was full speed into the concrete.
We just set a lap record, please. Let's get something out of this day.
Vincent Cooper for Rebel only needed to complete the race to secure points. Corey decided he had nothing to lose and attempted to break Minchan's lap record. But just ahead of the finish line, he bottomed out. Did he make it through the gate?
Heads up.
Did I go through?
No way.
He went through the gate.
It went through the gate.
He went through the gate.
They just said it did, yeah. They were watching line of sight.
He went through the gate. He rolled through the gate.
Yep. Woo!
So consolation for Corey, but did he beat Minchan's record?
Did I beat Minchan?
Team Rebel taking it in the win for that last heat. Now, I noticed you guys were definitely just taking it easy. I think you guys did your math, and you know that you guys are sitting pretty, so.
I'm stoked. Team Rebel in the final for the third time, so.
Mike, I don't see a smile on your face, man. What's going on here? You're going into the finals for the third time. Come on, let's hear it, man. What's going on, Mike?
I'm just a little spaced out because, you know, it's like deja vu. We're just here again. I don't know, man. Just getting used to it, you know what I mean? Just getting used to it.
Team Rebel topped the leaderboard with 57 points and are through to the final. Since Heat 9 was their last race, Lumenier finish at the bottom. The final heat saw Mac and Johnny fly for Nexxblades versus Ricky and Garza for Thunder Power. There was a lot at stake for both teams. If Thunder Power came first and second, they would qualify for the final. Nexxblades required a first and third place finish to make it through. Johnny almost mid-aired Mac at gate 1. Then Mac made an audacious move to steal first from Garza at the next obstacle, again narrowly avoiding a collision. In third place, Johnny risked crashing on 2 occasions as he navigated through the castle ruins. At gate 4, teammate Mac stole back first place. Johnny pitted at the end of lap 1, so Garza moved into second place, chasing Mac for the lead. At gate 6, there was yet another near miss, but the maneuver saw Thunder Power take the lead for the first time.
Oh, yeah!
Garza pitted at the same time as Mac. When they rejoined the race, the battle was on again. This time it was Mac who stole first place at the first gate. The then he was overtaken by Johnny and Garza. But moments later, disaster for Johnny.
No! Johnny down, Johnny down. Final lap, guard, you're ahead. Max on your...
Garza was then in first, being pursued closely by Mac, but he too made an error exiting the castle.
Guards, easy, 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 easy.
Allowing Mac to overtake and go on to win. But Johnny's failure to finish meant they did not qualify for the final.
Sorry, boys.
That's fine. Don't worry about it, Johnny. Don't worry about it.
That was the most entertaining race of this season. You guys just kept exchanging places.
I just knew how to push it. It was like first and second is the only thing that would get us through to the finals. So I was like, well, let's go for it. I had to go all out or nothing. So
yeah,
I made one mistake at that second to last gate. And then he just capitalized on it, just passed me through, and it was seconds. It was awesome.
On the fourth lap, I knew I have to, Garcia in front of me. I need to catch him. He's probably gonna go super fast again. And I was like, took some proper risk, and he made it. I was lucky. He made a mistake.
So the leaderboard confirms that neither Nexxblades nor Thunder Power secured enough points to reach the final. But Thunder Power won the battle for third place behind Rebel and KDRA. Coming up after the break, the finals commence in the battle for Bunowen Castle in DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew.
Oh, he mid-aired me.
Welcome back to Bunowen Castle for DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew. The final is a series of 3 races between the 2 top teams. Each pilot will fly twice and have 1 race looking after the pit stops. The points are the same as the heats, with 10 points for first, 8 for second, and 6 and 3 for third and fourth, respectively. Not finishing scores the team 0 points.
So regardless of today's outcome, you guys are actually going to be in first place position as far as seasonal points goes. Tell me, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's really awesome. We were watching the Nexxblades guys last race. We saw one of them go down, and we knew that was it. We're in first.
I don't know if you know, but if you take the win today, that actually bumps you guys up for position number 2 as far as seasonal points goes. Vince, what would that mean to you?
That means so much to us. I mean, it's such a big championship. We're representing drone racing on national TV. It's awesome to be here, and to place finals 3 times, it's just crazy.
Flying first for Rebel, it's Cooper and Vince. KDRA's pilots are Brian and Harry.
You got Brian. Video, you got Brian?
They're off. All 4 pilots squeezing through the start gate. Cooper in second through gate 1, lines up for gate 2, jumps into the lead at gate 2. He looks in control. Coming up to the freestyle section, big power loop through the ruins. Strings another power loop over the wall.
Harry, your second is okay.
Harry's behind him in second. Brian in fourth. He overtakes Vince just ahead of gate 5. Got quite a battle here. 2 swap places again just before gate 6. Brian circling back to line up for gate 6. He's through. And now for 7.
He busted it. You have plenty of space, dude. You can slow it down a little bit.
Lap 2, Harry heading for the ruins. It's a unique 3D element to the course. Starts the loop. More of an S turn towards a gate 3. Cooper comfortably out in front. Full throttle here into gate 5. Wide bank turn to open the line through 6. And he's into pit. Harry close behind. He'll pit as well.
Lande.
Min Chan is in charge of the battery swap. Vince is lining up for gate 6 and 7. He's trying to make up time.
Go, 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 go.
Cooper back in the air. That was a fast pit. And he speeds past the charging Vince. He's maintaining first. Brian's into the pit right as Harry takes off. Harry just screaming through the first gate. And through the second, he's into the straightaway, trying to catch Vince. Vince lines up for the ruins. Little squirrely there. really wide loop. Not a smooth line. Harry overtakes him. Cooper charging hard through gate 6 towards 7. It's a little straightaway. And he banks to the start gate, his final lap. Harry only seconds behind, punching through the start gate, and he's on his final lap.
I'm gonna pit.
Yes, come.
Vince will take his pit stop now. Brian trying to take advantage, catch up and pass Vince while he's in the pit. He passes the pit and he's moved into 3rd. Brian climbs slightly for gate 1. Smooth turn towards 2. But almost a lap ahead, Cooper is tearing down the final straightaway. And he crosses in 1st. That was a clinical race from Cooper, start to finish. Harry now down the final straightaway. This has been his best performance of the day.
Harry, you're finished.
He finishes 2nd. Seems to have settled down after a shaky start to the day.
Brian, you need to just finish.
Brian in 3rd, taking a wide turn to get a nice fast line to the last few gates. Slow and steady on the last turn. And he's through in 3rd. He'll take 6 points for KDRA.
Where did he pass me, bro?
Vince playing it safe, meanwhile, just wants to finish clean. And he will. He takes 4th.
Second, sir.
Yeah, it's more than 1st and 4th.
More
points.
Yeah.
Good job. Perfect.
So after the first race of the finals, KDRA lead Rebel by 1 point, 14 points to 13. With 2 races remaining and the situation rather tight, which team will take home the glass winners' trophies?
Now, normally I've been telling you guys just to make sure you go ahead and finish, but now you're gonna hear me tell you guys to go ahead and push hard because you guys have nothing to lose at this point but to climb your way into position number 2 as far as seasonal points goes. Mike, are you gonna go for it? You gonna go hard?
Yeah, I want that piece of glass.
Minchan and Brian race for KDRA with Vince and Michael flying for Rebel. They're off through the start gate clean. Minchan with a whole shot, no surprise. Michael's in 3rd, but he's carrying a ton of speed. Banks for gate 2, takes the inside line, moves into 2nd. Nice flying. Coming up to the ruins now. Michael's through the window. Nice tight corkscrew. Oh, Michael hits the ground lining up that gate. Thought he's recovered. That was a close call, though. He has dropped to 4th. And he comes through gate 3. Lines up. Oh, almost mid-airs Brian. No one goes down. Michael continues to move up the field. Brian's not far behind, he's trying to catch up. Little wide on that turn into 6th, though. Minchan, lap 2, heads into the ruins. Tight corkscrew. Slick S-turn, nice.
Minchan's way out in front. You're about a gate ahead, Mike.
Michael in 2nd. Corkscrews through the ruins. Not as clean as he'd like. But he carries some nice speed through gate 3 into gate 4. And after lap 2, Minchan pits. Harry in charge of the battery swap. Michael trying to make up time with Minchan pitted. Oh, has to reapproach gate 7. There's a little hill between 6 and 7 and so hard to pick out the next gate. And he'll come in for a battery. Cooper handling the Rebel pit.
Coming in. Which side are we on? Oh, I'm shot.
Minchan rejoins the race for the start of lap 3 in 2nd. Vince moved ahead while he was in the pit. Oh, but he overtakes him in the turn to gate 2. Minchan just blazing. Look at how efficient his line is through the course. No wasted space through the castle. That's a nice tight loop. You know, he isn't afraid to take gates while turning. It's so efficient. He doesn't slow to line each gate up perfectly. Michael rejoins in 3rd. Brian out of the pits in 4th. Heading up over the rocks to gate 2. And Minchan, almost a full lap ahead, starts his final lap.
The right side, right?
Yep. No, other side.
Confusion there, but Vince is safely in the pit. Cooper ducks in to swap the battery. Rebel teammate Michael moves into 2nd right at the finish line. He starts his final lap. Minchan never letting off for a minute. Lines up through 6. speeds through 7, and he finishes first for KDRA. Michael coming through the castle. He's still in second. Big battle happening for third between Vince for Rebel and Brian for KDRA. Looks like they're coming up to gate 3. Bank towards 4. Oh! The mid-air! Vince is down.
Hitting air me, that's the only way you're gonna win.
Vince not happy at all. Disaster for Rebel. And so Brian will cruise to a third place finish.
I never saw him. I got hit, but I never saw him.
You shouldn't pass me if he's gonna hit me.
I never saw him.
You smacked me from behind,
no,
bro.
No, I never saw him.
Yes, you did.
I never saw him.
Brian.
Yeah.
I hit Brian?
Yeah.
How?
We never saw a quad on Brian's screen. There was no quad on the screen. He was in front.
And CP.
So 16 more points for KDRA, who extend their lead over Rebel. 30 points to 21, with everything to race for in the decider. Coming up after the break, we find out who takes the glory in Race 5 of DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew.
He's fast.
It's the final race at Bunowen Castle. Can Rebel catch KDRA and win Race 5 in DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series, fueled by Mountain Dew?
Give me that, give me that.
Nice one.
In order to secure victory today, you must take a first and second place finish. There is no room for third. There is definitely no room for fourth.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to push it really hard. Hopefully put enough pressure on them to make one of them crash, which would make our job a little bit easier. But yeah, we're going full throttle, all or nothing at this point.
I think we're gonna get it. Harry's gonna go down. I feel it.
Min Chan and Harry are the pilots for KDRA, with Cooper and Michael in the seats for Rebel.
There you go.
Min Chan with the whole shot again, best starter in the championship. Michael's in second, coming into the castle. Cooper right behind him in third. Michael's just on the edge to the ruins. He's really pushing right behind Min Chan. Min Chan holding on to first through 5. He takes a very tight inside line into the 6-7 straightaway every time. It's so efficient. Starts lap 2. Michael's right behind him, actually. Can he catch him? Oh no, disaster! Michael hits gate 2 and he is out. Rebel's hopes are crushed. Cooper's in the pit.
Rebel clear!
Cooper back up, still in second place. With a nice pit. Through gate 1. Odd outside curl the line of gate 2. Look at his approach to the ruins, though. He doesn't swing wide like most pilots. Min Chan, though, he's way ahead, coming into pit now at the end of lap 2.
It's crazy, dude. He's fast.
He's fast.
Cooper doing his best to catch up. He's through 5. Circles to... Oh, no! Cooper hits gate 6. Rebel has no chance of winning now.
What'd you hit?
Third time in the finals, not the charm after all for Team Rebel. Min Chan well out in front. Lap 3, tearing down the straightaway. He's into the ruins. Harry's out of the pits in second.
So that's it. Just take it easy and finish, please. They're both down.
Barring disaster, Min Chan will cap off an amazing day of racing here. Nothing seems to get to this kid. He starts on his last lap. He just doesn't know how to slow down. Banks towards the ruins for the last time today. Ooh, look at that. Tight, buttery smooth corkscrew. Little S-turn into gate 3, nicely done. Min Chan on what is basically a victory lap. Through 5. Wide turn into 6. Down the straightaway. And Min Chan will bring it home for KDRA, capturing first place. Meanwhile, back at the course, Harry's flying safely in second. He's taking it easy. Nice bit of flying, though, for the last-minute replacement. He had a rough start today. He crashed 4 quads, but he has really come through when it mattered.
Harry just finished. Circle all gates if you have to.
There you go, Harry.
Obviously, he doesn't want to add to his dead quad tally, so he's going to circle at gate 6. Finds gate 7. Banks to the finish. And Harry crosses in second.
Go, Chris.
Very nice.
Oh, celebrates with a nice power loop.
Next guy needs his quad.
Back through the gate.
Right there.
What an incredible race and an incredible day for Min Chan. And so the champions at Bun Owen Castle are Team KDRA. They finished with 48 points over Rebel, who just couldn't add to their total of 21 points.
Team KDRA is back at it again in the spot for a second time. Brian, I'm pretty sure you weren't sure if you were going to see this spot here today.
Yeah, that was, I mean, Sean left some pretty big shoes to fill, and Harry came in and did it.
Min Chan, how did you feel about today's track? I see a lot of smiles on you. You look very confident.
I'm so happy to win this game, but I'm so a little bit sad because Sean is 6.
Now, Harry, great timing for you to just jump into the middle of the series.
Like, well, I don't know these people, and we're about to fly and try and win something, so yeah, it was intense.
One more race to go, so just keep it up and hold your ground. Good luck to you guys on the next race.
So victory for KDRA secures 5 points, which means they top the table and earn an automatic bye through to the Champions Series finals. Next time, the remaining 4 teams battle it out among themselves to face KDRA. The Air Hogs move of the day for Bunowen Castle goes to Mac of Team Nexxblades for his incredible push into the lead at Gate 2. Garza is in the lead with Johnny close behind. Mac hits the corner perfectly and cuts through both pilots inside the gate for an extremely risky move that pays off with a first-place finish. Next time, join us for the climax of DR1 Racing's DHL Champion Series fueled by Mountain Dew.
Gimbal. Rocking the gimbal, man.
The series finals will feature our teams battling for ultimate glory in the backyard of the world's most dangerous race set on the Isle of Man.
Hey, Kane didn't take the start gate.
A perilous, rugged course, open to the elements, a brand new race format, yet more drama, tension, and emotion. Be sure to join us.
You're not doing it right. What do you mean?
Until then, for Tommy Tabahia, this is Josh Dean signing off.
Go. I was chasing you, past you.
Why is he landing here? What is this?
Throw my stuff again, man, and I'm not even joking.
I understand.
Go. Oh, he made me.